For this project, you're going to need a J crochet hook, which is actually a size 10, 6mm. You're going to need cotton yarn. I'm using white and green, obviously, for St. Patrick's Day. The color that I'm using is actually peaches and cream, and it's forest green. Of course, you'll also need scissors and a yarn needle. To begin, I'm making a slip knot. And chaining 3. Next, I'm working 2 double crochets into the ring. Following that with a slip stitch. Then I'm going to make a cluster of 3 double crochets. Followed by a slip stitch, another cluster of 3 double crochets, followed also by a slip stitch. Now at this point you could do another lobe, which would be a cluster of 3 double crochets followed by a slip stitch in the green, or you can change to white and have a 3-leaf clover. That's completely up to you. If you're going to change to white at this point, you're going to, instead of completing the slip stitch with the green, you would change to white and complete that slip stitch. Next, I'm chaining 3 and then working 2 double crochets into the ring. Followed by a slip stitch, and then joining to the top of the beginning chain 3 with a slip stitch. I'm working a slip stitch in the next 2 double crochets, and then I'm chaining 1, working a single crochet into the same stitch, and then I'm chaining 1 again, and I'm looking for that separation between the 2 lobes of the clover. I'm going to insert my hook and then bring up the yarn so that it matches the height of the stitch where I'm at, the stitch that's already on the hook, and I'm just joining those with the slip stitch. Next, I'm chaining 1 and working a single crochet into the second double crochet away, chaining 1. I'm going to work my long slip stitch, join with a slip stitch, chain 1, work a single crochet into the second double crochet, chain 1, work another long slip stitch, join it, chain 1, work a single crochet into the second double crochet away, chain 1, work one more long stitch, join with a slip stitch. Now I'm going to chain one and just join to the beginning single crochet that I made with a slip stitch. Next, I am chaining one and I'm working a single crochet into each stitch until I get to the corner. Now that I'm at the corner, I am gonna chain one and single crochet another into the same stitch. Next, I'm just going to work one single crochet into each stitch till I get to each corner, and each corner will be worked the same. It will be a single crochet separated by a chain stitch and then another single crochet into the same corner, and just one single crochet into each stitch across every edge. Now that I'm nearing the end, I'm just going to take this last stitch and work a single crochet into there and then chain one and join to the beginning chain one that I made with a slip stitch. I'm chaining two and working a half double crochet into the next stitch and each stitch to the corner. When I reach the corner, I'm going to do just as I did before. I'm going to work a half double crochet and I'm going to work a chain stitch, and then I'm going to work a half double crochet into the same stitch to establish my corner. And I'm going to continue around just like that, and every corner will be worked the same with a half double crochet, chain stitch, and half double crochet. Now that I'm at the end, I'm going to work one last half double crochet, chain one, and then I'm going to join with a slip stitch to the top of the beginning chain two that I made. I'm going to join on green instead of white at this point, so I'm just going to remove my slip stitch. And I'm going to complete that slip stitch instead with the green, and then I'm going to chain one and work a half double crochet into the first stitch and each stitch across until I get to the corner. At the corner, I'm going to work a half double crochet into this last stitch, chain one, and work a half double crochet into the same stitch just like I did on the round previous. And then I'm just going to continue around with one half double crochet into each stitch across till I get to the corner, and then I'm going to work a half double crochet, chain stitch, and another half double crochet, and keep going till I get to the end. Now that I'm nearing the final corner, I'm just continuing working like I was. I'm going to work one last half double crochet and chain one. Then I'm going to join to the beginning half double crochet that I made. I'm going to just remove that last slip stitch that I made. And now I'm going to continue with my white, so I'm just traveling it up on the back of the cloth. I'm going to chain one, and I'm just going to do a round of, and I say round, this is square, but you know what I mean. I'm just going to go around with one single crochet into each stitch except for in the corners, where of course again we're going to work one single crochet, a chain stitch, and another single crochet to make our corners. But this time, instead of working into the stitches, I'm just going to work into the space. Now that I'm at the end, I'm going to work one last single crochet, chain stitch, and then join to the beginning single crochet that I made. I'm going to keep going with the white for a little while, so I'm going to chain 3, and I'm going to work a double crochet now into the next stitch and each stitch around, except for in the corners, where of course on the corners we're going to work I'm working a double crochet, a chain stitch, and another double crochet into the corner space, not the stitches but the space, and then just continuing around until I get to the end. I'm nearing the final corner, so I'm still working my double crochets, trying to figure out exactly where my corner is. So I'm going to make a double crochet, chain stitch, and another double crochet into the same stitch. Now that I'm at the corner, I'm working a double crochet into the space, not the stitch, but the space, chaining 1, and I'm going to double crochet 1 more into the same stitch, and then join to the top of the beginning chain 3 that I made, just with a slip stitch. And at this point, I know I'm joining in white, but this is where we'll change again to green. I'm joining on green again, and then I'm chaining 1 and working a single crochet into the same stitch. I'm going to work 1 single crochet into each stitch across to the corner. In the corner, of course, I'm going to work 1 single crochet, a chain stitch, and another single crochet into the same space. I'm not working into the stitches again, I'm working into the space. Now that I'm to the end, I am working a single crochet, a chain stitch, and another single crochet into the corner space, and then joining just with a slip stitch to the beginning single crochet. Now it's time to end off, so I'm just going to trim a few inches of yarn from the mother yarn, and I'm going to thread up my yarn needle. You can see on the back that I've traveled up the green yarn and the white yarn. So if you don't like the way that looks on the back, you could, clip tails and then add on along the way, and you'll have more tails to sew in, but it'll be more finished looking on the back. Now it's just weaving in the ends. So I'm going to go under the second stitch from where I'm at, working across the loop, and then I'm going to insert my hook back through the loop that I just made and into the loop underneath, and then just weave in the ends on the back as usual. Now I'm going to make a stem for my clover. And so I'm just taking a length of green yarn and I'm going to attach it to the space between the bottom 2 lobes of the clover, just by running it underneath some stitches on the back. Just going to secure that as well as I think it needs to be secured. Then I'm bringing my needle up through the middle, through the center, and just going to come down toward the corner and come back up through the hole and just secure that with a stitch or 2. Take it back to the back of the cloth and just finish weaving in the ends as usual. And this is totally optional. You don't have to add a stem to your clover. You could even maybe chain a length of green yarn and add that on. However you want to do it, it's fine. This is just what I happened to come up with because I wanted kind of a skinnier stem. I didn't want it so big. And then just trim off the excess yarn, and you have a cloth fit for St. Patrick's Day. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope that you enjoyed making this clover cloth with me just to celebrate St. Patrick's Day, the coming of spring, the month of March, and I just really appreciate your time that you took to watch it. Thanks again and have a happy day, and until next time, bye!